Hello and welcome back to Knitwear Diaries. My name's Kyla May and today we are going over my first FOs of 2026 and a bunch of other stuff. First things first, I just wanted to acknowledge that right now is a very difficult time for those, especially here in America, considering a lot of the injustice that has been going on. Based off of my last video, I've been very kind of clear about where my stances have been. Everything that is going on regarding the immigrations and customs enforcement, especially in Minnesota, and also just everywhere in the US. It really doesn't matter what your political status is. There's a lot of inhumane things happening. I wanted to mention another way to contribute if you're not able to protest or to teach others of everything that's going on at this point in time. There is a pattern called Melt the Ice Hat that you can find on Ravelry. It is, let me check the price. It is $5 USD. All proceeds from the sale of this pattern go to immigrant aid agencies who would distribute these funds to those impacted by actions of the immigrations and customs enforcement. And so I wanted to point that out just in case you have not heard of it and you have been struggling to find ways to support. It feels really weird posting anything on any platform. It's really hard to ignore that all of these things are happening, and so I just wanted to point that out. But for now, enjoy the rest of this video, use it as an escape, but keep in mind this is a way to support the cause if you believe in it. So first and foremost, I want to thank everybody who subscribed to me from my last video. Prior to posting my last video, my yarn stash going into 2026 video, I only had 43 subscribers. As of today, I have 200, which is absolutely insane. I tripled the amount of people subscribed to me and I love it. Thank you to everybody who commented and subscribed. I love having an open communication about anything knitting related. I think that's the main reason why I started this channel, just because I love talking about all things knitting. I absolutely love it. And like literally if you comment something that doesn't really relate to anything or any of the items that I mentioned in my video and you just want to tell me like what you're working on, do it. I will respond to you. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I consider you guys all my friends, so super cool. So in this episode, I really don't have much to talk about in terms of FOs, because my current whips that I have are taking a lot longer than they usually do. I am a person where I can usually crank out a stockinette sweater, including color work, in about 6 weeks. And so the fact that I've been knitting on my current whips since November, maybe October, it's just been a lot. So my first FO of 2026 is a relatively quick object, but it was because I needed a quick win, and I'll go more into that once I talk about that whip. So my first finished object of 2026 are these vanilla socks by the Crazy Sock Lady. I knit this for my husband. I actually started knitting this, it was after October, so definitely November, and then I lost them. Essentially what I mean by lost is I left it in a chair in my husband's office and covered it with a blanket, because realistically that is my project bag. It's the couch or a chair with a blanket over it so that the cats don't like really touch it. And I just like it, I'm also have ADHD, and so I was very out of sight, out of mind. I knit this with a biscotti yarn bis sock. Do I know the colorway? Oh god, what's my colorway? Checking Ravelry. I said I would get better at this, and clearly I've not, but that's okay. This is the first FO of Oh no, I'm here. Oh, not Q. Projects. Let's see if I wrote it down. Yes, I did. Oh my gosh, go me. Okay, so this is Biscotti Yarns Bis Sock in the color Nelly, and I love it. Biscotti Yarns is a Canadian hand-dyed yarn brand, and I actually got this when I was in Montreal, and yeah, it's really beautiful. I love variegated yarns, especially when doing like stockinette, just because like I like knit a row and then I have to stop and look at it and like admire it and then continue, which then does definitely slow down my process. Another thing about Biscotti Yarn sock yarn, specifically the Bis sock, so it's a 100-gram hank, right? But it's actually 2 balls that are hanked up into one, which I didn't realize that, even though I read the label on the yarn or on the hank and it was like 2 50-gram balls, and I was like, I don't know what that means. I guess there's 100 grams. I don't know why they said it like that. That's crazy. Until I took out my yarn swift and winded it up. And so I learned that some yarn brands will do that with like socks, especially if they're sock yarns, so that the striping will match up. Isn't that genius? For this one though, I thought they would match up a little bit better and they didn't. I don't know. Another thing that I realized is, and I don't know why I didn't do it initially, so with my very first socks that I've knit last year, also vanilla socks, and I did it for myself, I did use 2.25 millimeter needles, which is typical for a sock yarn, but I have super loose gauge, so these socks are like kind of loose. And so last night, because I literally finished this last night, I like genuinely didn't think that I was going to have a finished whip in January, but so I blocked it last night and I was like, ugh, it's kind of big, it's kind of huge, so I threw it in the dryer to like shrink it, because I thought, you know, I did it with my other socks and it worked fine, so I'll do it this one. But my other socks that I knitted, that I had knit with, was a Malabrigo Rio Superwash sock yarn. And then as this was in the dryer, I went to go search up the yarn to see, to like make sure it's superwash. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's superwash. It's not. So I immediately took it out of the dryer, which I think it did help like tighten it up a bit. So I'm very excited for my husband to now have hand knit socks. He is a sock guy, and so yeah, now he has socks made by his lovely wife. Yeah, super special. And I think it's just special, like the yarn is special because we both really loved our Montreal trip. I'm like using these to talk like they're my hands, but we both really loved our Montreal trip. In October we went to go see a jazz musician. Her name is Laufey, Laufey, and she does jazz and she's from Iceland and she's super cool. I want to be her so bad. Anyways, it was a lovely concert, lovely yarn, lovely time in Montreal. Okay, on to whips. And I know I talked about it in my last video where I went over my plans for 2026, but I put this in timeout because it was just like genuinely making me mad. So this is my Sweetest Heart sweater by Rita Dowd. I don't know, I'd have to rewatch my last video, but I think I've made a lot of progress on this. I literally just needed to knit 5 more inches of the front panel and then I could connect the body. So this is knit with Biscotti Yarns, DK Pure Smoothie, and their Hermione Mohair in a custom lot that that specific location had dyed a batch of, and it is beautiful. Now, the reason why I put this in timeout is because the DK Pure is a very variegated yarn, right? And some of the variegations, even though it's the same dye lot, just looks like a completely different dye a lot. And I saw that in person in the store, but I needed that amount of yardage, and so I was like, it's fine. And like when I was checking out, the one was like, the color is, yeah, and I'm like, I know, variegated. But, and you can even see it on camera. Oh my gosh, this is about to be in timeout again. But you can see a section where it looks like there's just like this line where I started a new ball. And I got so mad. I was like drugged up. I had a tonsillectomy, by the way. I was like drugged up and like crying essentially. And so I immediately, because this is like 5 inches, I want to say, yeah, about 5 inches, maybe 4.5 of work. And it's like you could see the line. Oh my god, I'm getting mad just talking about it. And so I immediately stopped that ball of yarn and wound it up one that was like closer to the original ball that I've worked, because even though it's variegated, like if you look at this back panel, which was knit with just one ball, it's like not bad. It's not bad. And so like the line really pissed me off, and it like it was literally like 40 hours of me healing from my tonsillectomy, knitting with the new ball of yarn. And I was so angry. And I'm actually vlogging, I'm like filming a vlog for this sweater. And so like my last clip that I videotaped was like literally me like unable to speak, like crashing out. But I'm like so close. And you know what, I think like on camera you can definitely like see it, but in person it's a little bit harder to see. However, my husband said that. Do I trust his eyes 100%? I trust his eyes 100%, 95% of the time. So take that. So I'm taking it how I can. I'm going insane. I'm like, it's just like, this is why it's been in timeout. And this is like my only other whip right now, technically. I'll be speaking about another thing that I have coming up. But I love this pattern, I really do. It's actually not difficult. This is my first cable knit. Oh my god. Clyde needs to get out of the way. This is my first cable knit sweater that I'm knitting that is a pattern. I've done stuff that are cables that I just self-drafted and did. And they're like simple, just like 6-stitch twists. And so like it wasn't difficult. But like I am having a blast knitting this. It's just right now, every time I look at it, I want to rip my hair out. So, a little traumatized. I originally wanted this by Valentine's Day. Do I think I'm going to get it done by Valentine's Day now? No. Why? I don't have any motivation. And it's all just because of like the line of color difference that I can very much see. And I don't want to frog it. I'm not gonna frog it. There's no way I'm going to frog this. No way. Like, I'm not doing that to myself. Cause one, I wouldn't even know where in the chart. I wouldn't even know where in the chart I'm frogging back to. Which like, yeah, I could figure it out, but like, do I want to? No way in hell do I want to. So that's what's happening with this. I do have work trips, a work trip, I guess, a week-long work trip coming up in February, and I'm thinking that this will be a little bit too big and inconvenient to bring on my work trip to work on, so I swatched for my next whip. Okay, so don't laugh at how small this swatch is. The fact that I even really swatched is like a big deal. So I am planning on knitting the Sylvester T. Who is this by? Oh, cute name. By Hannah Herman Sorensen. Don't know if I pronounced that right, but she also goes by Cupid Knits. And I actually first saw this pattern on another YouTube podcaster's video. It was their Everything They Knit in 2025. It was by Emwu, and she knit a black version of the top, and like I was like super in love with it, and I was like, no, I need that. I am going to be knitting this with Knitting for Olive merino in the color Claret. It looks a little holy. It's fine. like it looks holy in the light, but not like against skin. Yeah, so I'm gonna be knitting this in knitting for Olive Merino in the color Claret, which is a fingering weight yarn. And this pattern actually calls for a fingering weight plus a strand of lace weight of the Stellaris from Kremke Soul Wool, which it's like it's almost like yarn tinsel. It's sparkly, and when it's held with another yarn, it actually looks really cool. So majority of the samples that were knit up, when you look into the projects, they have a little bit of a twinkle to it, which I think is super darling. However, I am on a no yarn buying ban, as I said in my last video, and so I did a swatch just to see if I was okay with the gauge, and I am. And so that is actually what I'm going to do with my Knitting for Olive Merino Claret. For my size, I'm like, I think 118 bust circumference in centimeters. For my size, I fall between sizes, and she recommends that you do the smaller size if you're in between the two. But because I'm not holding it with the lace weight, I don't know if I'm going to do that, because I feel like my boobs will just kind of stretch everything out and like really show the holes, if you know what I mean. Maybe it won't, but I'm pretty sure it will. And so we'll see what I end up doing. I think I'm going to end up doing the size that's bigger than my bust circumference, because it's supposed to be like a 0 ease bust circumference for this project. So for my size, it says that I need 300 grams of yarn. I think I have 250, but here's my thought process. Okay, the size below me and 1, 2, 3 sizes above me also say that you need 300 grams for those sizes, and so I am assuming that I won't need the full 300 grams, and I'll be fine with 250, and I might be cutting it close, but I am short. Okay, so maybe the sleeves don't have to be as long, like, right? Like, I think it goes up to here. I think I'll be fine if I'm like up here, and my torso's not as long, and so maybe I won't need the full 300. Fingers crossed I don't, because I don't want to buy yarn. But I'm super excited for this, and I think it's going to be like the perfect work shirt. It's such a darling pattern. I mean, like, look at it. It's so darling. It's so cute. This is going to be my first fingering weight top. I've never done such a thing, but because I have such like a loose gauge, even though I'm not holding it with the lace weight sparkly thing, I'm still using the 3.5 millimeter needles. And I met gauge to the best of my ability. Like, it's pretty close. Moving forward, I will try to do bigger swatches. But like I said, I'm playing yarn chicken right off the bat, so I really couldn't do that. Okay, so this is the fun part, and maybe it's the fun part just because I like shopping. It was my birthday on January 12th, and I was kindly gifted a $150 gift card to Wool & Company for my birthday. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa, if you're watching this, love you. I'm probably DMing you right now. And so I spent, I'm like on a no-buy type of energy for 2026, but because of the gift card, I only spent like $1.50. No, that's a lie. $4.50 just to cover everything that I went over. First things first, I purchased 5. How many do I have in my hand? Oh no, don't tell me I already like lost. Don't tell me I'm already losing stuff. I bought 5 of these rubber gripper Chiaogu things, which usually when you buy a set of Chiaogus, like at least the complete set, you get these, and I like them for my needles because I use Diacraft needles, and they do not have like a, let me try to show you. They do not have a pin on them to help tighten, and so like I've been using the Chiaogu rubber grippers, but I bought a bunch of extra like 6 months ago, but I had lost them, and so I bought 5 packs more, so 10. And I only have 3 in my hands, so I don't know. I'm going to have to find like a really cheap alternative somewhere. I don't know what these are called. Maybe I just have to search up rubber grippers. I don't know why I haven't done that yet, but yeah, I love these. Can never have enough of them. So hopefully I find the other 2 packs that I purchased. So in my last video, I said that the only time that I would be purchasing yarn would be for the Kitten Catch Mittens by Florence Miller. And so I'm happy to tell you, I did buy said yarn for the Kitten Catch Mittens by Florence Miller. So this is going to be for my husband's pair. All of this yarn is Cascade Yarns Heritage, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. There is 437 yards in each hank, and I am like hoping that I would have enough to maybe do like a matching muscle bra hat, or specifically for my husband, he wants ear warmers, so maybe I'll do that, like a little pair. So he chose this. Well, I guess technically I chose it, but like he told me what vibes he was going for. This is color 5634, which I think was called like Moss Rock or something, and it's this beautiful naturey green, and it's not like pine, like there isn't a lot of blue in it. It's pretty, it's a warm dark green, which is actually my preferred green, and this cream color, which is color 5758. And I am super excited. I've never used this Cascade before. The only thing from Cascade I've ever used previously was 220. The 220 yarn that I used last time in 2024, it was a superwash yarn as well, and it didn't grow that much. So I'm anticipating this to not grow as much as well. So very excited for this. I'm super excited to knit him mittens. For mine, I love these colors. Can you tell? Can you tell I really like this like more like darkish, pinkish, reddish color? So this is still the Cascade Heritage. This one is color 5714. I think it's called Garnet. And I am using the same base color. So the 5758, same as my husband's. So we're gonna be matching. I love matching my husband. That's all I gotta say. So the next thing that I purchased are Addi Flexi Flips. So I really like using Addi Flexi Flips for socks because you only have 3 needles and they have a flexible core. And so if you are a DPN person, I am pretty sure you will enjoy the Addi Flexi Flips. I got this in a size 2 millimeters because, like I said, I have super loose gauge and my socks have been coming out super huge, and so I just needed to nip the issue in the bud and just get a size down my needles for socks. I think in Europe this is also called the Crazy Trio. These are a lot more expensive than I thought they were. I put them on my Christmas list to my brother-in-law, and I was like, oh yeah, buy me this size, this size, this size. I thought they were $10 each. They're $30. I think they're like $30. That's really freaking expensive, you guys. But I like them so much. And I don't think I'd ever have to replace them. I've been putting all of my Flexi Flips like in the ringer. So anyways, yeah, this sizing down to a 2 millimeter needle will hopefully fix my gauge issue for my socks. So super excited about that. So the last thing I had purchased from Wool & Company, my second knitting book. Yay! So this is Art of the Sea by Lane. I think that's the publisher. And so a lot of these designs are inspired by Moomin, and like I literally love it. I specifically bought it for this like jacket. It's so freaking cute. I love it so much. All of these designs, they're very classic, but they're like a little fun. Like there's also this one. Like how fun is that? And there's like stuff that's like not as like, you know, cartoony, like this beautiful piece right here. And also there's this poncho that I really love. Like gorgeous. I love it. Like it just like makes me feel like I'm like, you know, the nice cool rich aunt that I'm like trying to be. Like you can't, like that is such a cool girl poncho, you know. It's so sleek and chic, but like all of these patterns in this book, I was like, I would so knit them and wear them. So that's why I purchased it. And this was $52 on the Wool & Company website. I don't know if other places you can get it for cheaper or not, but yeah. So everything that I just mentioned, that equaled up to $154.50 total, and it was free shipping because I was over $100. Thank you so much, Melissa. Love you. My last acquisition, I'm very excited to talk about this. Grace, if you're watching this, love you. You're so fun to talk to. Stitch Atlas! So this is a brand new independent small knitting magazine. This is their very first issue. Grace, who I believe her background's in architecture, Grace created the Stitch Atlas account and started posting on TikTok saying, I want to make a fiber related magazine and I want to do it in 72 days. Crazy. Insane. It's the cutest thing ever. There's, you know, it outlines designers, it outlines like different techniques, there's patterns in here, and there's like, it's just so cool. I'm like trying to like show pages that don't have like a discount code, because some of the patterns that are in here, they're too big to fit in the magazine, so they just gave a free code for you to download on Ravelry. But like there's also like super fun, like this is 75 yarn, like 75 hard, and so that's like super fun. There's like charts. Their motto is exploring fiber arts through design, history, and ritual, and it's really endearing. Like the quality of this magazine is amazing. And look, the Rumi Raglan, everyone's been loving this pattern. This is in here too. Yeah, it's super cool. Monthly knitting planner, love that. And also I did want to mention yours truly will be on the next issue. Yay! And so I'm super excited to partner and work with Grace from Stitch Atlas, and just work with Stitch Atlas in general, just because like I believe in their mission, and I believe in what they stand for. And so I'm happy to announce I will be a part of their next issue, which is going to be releasing in Q3. So this is just a quarterly magazine. And another cool thing about this magazine is that it's ordered to print. You know, they don't have like a certain amount of prints per issue, so you don't have to really worry about it selling out. And I would highly recommend looking into Stitch Atlas. What they have done so far, it's just amazing, especially in the time frame, working with all of these creative people. This part was designed by someone and they're credited, and like every inch of this just outlines artists and like fiber artists, and really gives them the praise and appreciation that they deserve. Check out Stitch Atlas. I will be on there and I'm super excited. Hey guys, I realized I forgot to film an outro, so thank you for watching. If you've made it all the way through, like and subscribe, comment any of your thoughts. Like I said in the beginning of the video, anything random, I will respond back to. I love having a conversation, and I hope to see you in my next video.
fingers crossed, my next video is my Sweetest Heart Sweater project vlog, and that it's done, and that it is before Valentine's Day when I finish it. Fingers crossed. Still mad though.